You spend half of your life staring at screens, but the tech behind them is a confusing mess of acronyms. Today, we are cutting through the marketing noise. We are covering everything from the anatomy of a pixel to deciphering resolutions and density, so you finally can understand exactly what you're looking at. Let's dive in. At its core, every screen is just a mosaic. It consists of multiple pixels arranged in a matrix. It is the smallest unit of measurement in a digital image, the atom of the screen world. But if we pull a CSI enhance and zoom in even more, we find the subpixels, red, green, and blue, RGB, the holy trinity of light. Now, if you passed kindergarten art classes, you might be thinking, wait, isn't yellow a primary color? You mix blue and yellow and you get green? Stop, that's paint. We are working with light. It's a completely different physics engine. Depending on the intensity at which these subpixels light up, they trick your brain into seeing colors. Combine red and green and you get yellow. Add some blue in the mix and you get white. Turn them all off, you get black, of course. Or dark gray if your monitor is cheap. Now let's zoom back out. If we have 1920 pixels in width and 1080 pixels in height, we have a screen resolution of 1920 by 1080, or Full HD, or 1080p. The naming scheme is a disaster, but we'll get to that train wreck in just a minute. First, we need to address the shape. This is the aspect ratio. It's simply the relationship between the width and the height. If I say 16 by 9, it means for every 16 units of width, there are 9 units of height. These aren't pixels, they are proportions. To find this, you divide the resolution by their greatest common divisor. Take 1920 by 1080. Divide both by 120. So 1920 divided by 120 is 16, and 1080 divided by 120 is 9. And there you have it, 16 by 9, the standard widescreen format. But then you have ultra-wides, 21 by 9, which are just stretched out 16 by 9s, for people who really need to see more Excel columns at once. Here's a question that used to keep me up at night. My phone has a resolution of roughly 2500 times 1100. My giant TV has 1920 by 1080. How is that this tiny screen has more resolution than that massive slab on the wall? It's all about pixel pitch and pixel density. Pixel pitch is the physical distance between the center of two pixels. The smaller it is, the more pixels can fit into a smaller area. On a giant stadium screen, the pixel pitch is so huge, you can fit a golf ball between the LEDs. And on your phone, the pixel pitch is microscopic. The same thing applies to pixel density, only in reverse. It defines the number of individual pixels contained within a display's physical area. We usually measure density in ppi, or pixels per inch. High ppi means high density. It means the image looks sharp, crisp, and you can't see the individual dots unless you press your eyeball against the glass. Don't do that. We established earlier what resolution is. Width by height. Simple, right? Wrong, because humans hate simplicity and marketing teams love buzzwords. We have no fewer than 4 different languages to say the exact thing. Group 1 is the letters: SD, HD, Full HD, Quad HD, Ultra HD. Group 2 is the raw numbers: 1920 by 1080. 3840 by 2160. Group 3 is the P's and the I's, 720p, 1080p, 1080i. 4 is the K's, 2K, 4K, 8K, 6K, 5K. Funny enough, many of these mean the exact same thing. So let's torture ourselves with an example. Let's take Full HD, full high definition. They really wanted to rub salt on the wound by adding the word definition right into the name. Whose definition? I don't know. We find Full HD as 1920 by 1080, but you also see it as 1080p. The 1080 is the height, but the P? What is the P? Let's take a quick detour, shall we? What is progressive scan? Progressive scan is a video display method where every line of a video frame is drawn sequentially, top to bottom, in a single pass. Contrast with the interlaced scanning, like 1080i, that splits frames into odd and even fields. Okay, so I's is the old flickering TV style, and P's is the smooth modern style, where the whole image loads at once. How refreshing. Now, let's move on to the last category, the K's. 2K, 4K, 8K. Unfortunately, we will never find Full HD in this category. It would be equivalent to 1K or 2K, but no one calls it that. So my whole example was pointless. Great. You know what? Let's fix that. Let's take an example with the same resolution and analyze it. Let's look at 4K. Nice. So, 4K, the K comes from the Greek kilo, meaning 1000, and 4 represents approximately 4000 pixels across the width. Keep in mind, very important, the word approximately, because companies lie. Most of the time, when you buy a 4K TV, you are actually getting UHD. The resolution is 3840 by 2160. Wait a minute. 3840 isn't 4000. The real cinema 4K is 4096 by 2160. So they are selling you fewer pixels and calling it 4K. Will you notice the difference when watching Netflix? Probably not. Will it annoy you to know that you know? Of course, just when you think you get it, they throw things at you like UWQHD, which stands for UW, ultra wide, so the aspect ratio is stretched, Q quad, which is 4 times 720p, and HD, you know this one. And don't get me started on 2K. Technically, 2K is a cinema standard, 2048 by 1080. But if you go and buy a gaming monitor, 2K usually means 2560 by 1440, which is actually 1440p. Yeah. Look, I think you grasp the idea. The screen industry is a messy place, filled with marketing terms designed to confuse you. But hopefully now you have the decoder ring. So check for the numbers, the resolution, check for density, the PPI, and ignore the letters on the box. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the pixels, hit that subscribe button. Now I'm going to go stare at a tree, cause my eyes hurt.